Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can save to date in the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we are here to do it for you. Remember, this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Now on with the show. I am one of your hosts, Waba Plays, alongside, as always, Court. Lalon, hello, Court.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Show off that new controller you got.
You want me to like talk? Okay, hold on.
I mean, you know, it's kind of a audio medium. Oh, by the way, if you aren't at youtube.com/3dadsandaconsole, you can't see that spicy new controller Court has.
These are facts.
It's
the brand. It's a weird blue. Let's be honest.
Spoilers.
It's I wanted the pink because like when I got it. So what happened was Court got another PlayStation 5. But here's the reason why. In Canada we can get them. In the United States, supposedly they're like
it fell off the back of a truck. We know
they're like pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It just doesn't happen. I literally the other day was at Walmart. I saw one there. I was at Best Buy. I saw one there, and then so I was returning HDMI cables that I didn't need anymore.
Did you buy the $100 ones?
Well, because I got a new TV for the office.
Monster cables?
Because I wanted to keep the monitors. So the TV was above, and I brought it back down. Anyways, I returned a whole bunch of things and got like $400 back from all the returns. And then I was like, okay. And then I returned the HDMI cables, and I saw a box on the shelf, and I turned to the gentleman at the store, the source, and I was like, "Oh, you have a box over there. That's kind of mean." And he's like, "Oh no, we've got two in the back." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, I'll take one." He's like, "They're bundled, so they come with a controller." So I was like, "Oh, can I pick my color?" He's like, "The controller's in the box." I'm like, "All right." So yeah, I guess if you go to Walmart, they're bundled with the red controller, and if you're going to the source, which is in Canada, they get the blue controller. And Best Buy gives you the pink controller, and I'm just like, now, here is something that I found out. This bundle is not the retailer's. So the box I had that I opened has like, it doesn't say the source on it. So the bundles are actually being done by Sony in Canada. They're forcing the bundles on. If you go to Costco, they're forcing you to get the charger for the controller as well. So if you look here in Canada to get a PlayStation 5 right now, no matter what, it's bundled. So if you buy from Best Buy, you have to get a second controller. It's bundled. It's bundle. They're making you pay that extra bit. You can't just buy the console itself.
Can I just say what a degenerate mindset it is when you return something? It's like, well, I've already spent the money. Might as well just get something new with it instead of
why?
No, it.
So Waba, understand? You spend weekends and weekends and weekends buying things on the cheap and then selling them at an inflated price. I just buy things, and it's not a good thing. I sell things though. Like I sold my vinyl collection to get all this stuff in that I'm talking into and all that, you know.
Well, speaking of Sony, if anyone needs a Sony Ericsson Walkman phone, I got you covered.
I used to have that phone.
Well, this can be yours for the low price.
Really? We're gonna spend our opening selling burners?
I'm not selling burner phones. This is a AT&T.
If anyone has AT&T and sells nefarious wares, boy, do I have a cell phone for you.
But now I have a very good setup. So now I'm able to, if I'm doing content, I can play video games in here. I can still go downstairs and be in my comfortable couch playing a game and just chilling. I think it's just easier. It's a good setup I have here now.
That's fair.
I don't need to buy anything else. Like I don't need anything else.
Yeah, we'll see.
All.
We'll see about that.
What am I gonna need? If the new PS5 Pro comes out or whatever, I'll just sell one of these, and I'll get the PS5 Pro.
Fair point. That other sultry voice that you heard is the one and only Pez. Hello, Pez.
Hello, boys. Can we talk about PlayStation calling their racing wheel the Thrustmaster?
What's weird about that? I don't understand. Can you explain?
That isn't what I would call a racing wheel at all. That's all. I just wanted to let the people know that this is an epidemic out there. And then Wob is selling.
I don't see what's weird about that.
And then
that's like today on the Xbox Drive. Sean Capri kept going, "Oh, I was playing with my flight stick. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta stop saying
I don't understand what you're getting at. Couldn't be loot or anything like that. No, not at
but
all.
hey, we're not saying anything wrong.
Hey, I'm just saying, marketing. You know,
You
hey
know
boys
that
and
it sounds
girls,
like
sit
something
behind
someone
your
put in,
Thrustmaster.
it sounds like something someone put in as a joke and was like, all right, like we got like two truths and a lie. Like, all right, let's see which one they pick. Like, obviously this one's the bogus one, and they picked the bogus one.
Yeah.
And like now it's like too late to go back on it because like
Shuhei
the higher
Yoshida's
ups are
like,
like, oh, this is
I love it. Sign me up.
great. Send it.
Send it. Full send.
So that's I love that
Welcome
you
to the
have one.
podcast, everyone.
There we go. Speaking of Sony, our first topic today is going to be about Sony. So there was some recent news that came out that Sony says it believes that Xbox owning Call of Duty could influence users' consoles choice. I know this is new information when it comes to purchasing decisions that a company that owns an IP or a product might influence decision making from consumers. This was they said that they could inspire users to switch to Xbox following Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. Ignoring the fact that Sony has also been buying studios and nobody said anything. But, I guess they really wanted those Call of Duties, or, they're upset that their exclusive agreement doesn't matter anymore.
So here's my take. Obviously, they're going to say that. What are they supposed to say? Please let Xbox take Call of Duty. I honestly don't think it's going to be exclusive. I just think the bigger thing that I was looking at is the market share part they talked about with Game Pass. It's like 70% of the market share in that space, which is huge, right? We talked about this before the show. I still think the PlayStation Plus is actually a decent offering right now. I do think Game Pass is better. But Game Pass has been around longer. That's just how it works. Not everybody's going to be like Disney Plus when they hit the scene and they're the better streaming service, like right out of the bat. But that's because Disney Plus did what PlayStation didn't do. Disney Plus was like, everything you want, you can have it. And when a movie comes out, 60 days later, you get it. If Sony decided to put their first party studios into their streaming service right away or within 60 days, they would be better than Game Pass because they have better first party right now. That's just it. These are just facts. But Game Pass, when it first launched, wasn't that good. Sony's going to have to say what they have to say to hopefully don't have this go through. But in the end, I truly think this acquisition's going through and Call of Duty is going to be on Game Pass.
It just feels like when Brendan Moore would complain about the refs after losing a game during the playoffs. Like, it's like,
Very
it
good
just
analogy.
seems, it just seems kind of silly. It's like, why say like obviously, like
Yes.
For those who don't, the uninitiated, Brendan Moore's the Hurricanes coach, would complain about the refs and how inconsistent it was, and then immediately the next game the refs would start calling in the Hurricanes' favor. So it was like, it was frustrating that he was complaining anyway, and then he got his way. And it seems like Sony, like, what do you expect for like whatever judge to be like, you know what, Sony's right, like, Activision shouldn't be like. I don't know what they expect to come of it.
It's just a little. I guess I don't know the word for it, but I'm not going to say hypocritical because I think it's too strong. But it's little. Maybe it is hypocritical to be like, well, they shouldn't buy Activision because Call of Duty has such a market share, but they weren't very worried when they bought Bungie, and this is before
That's exactly it.
And this is before we knew that Destiny 2 was staying multi-console, right? Because it is possible that Xbox makes Call of Duty that leaves it multi-console and just rakes in all that money. You know what I mean? Possible. I think what's at the heart of the matter necessarily isn't Call of Duty, but it's all the other IPs that come with it, right? Because like you can say, like, no one cares that like Xbox is going to own Spyro or whatever, but if Spyro puts out a new game and it's good and people are like, oh, I remember playing Spyro, I like it, it is very possible that us 30 or 40 somethings with money will go out and buy an Xbox to play Spyro the Dragon as it's on Game Pass, right?
Or Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot, perfect example. Think about all the perks you're going to get as a Game Pass, or potential perks you're going to get as a Game Pass subscriber for Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, right? Like, you're you could maybe play those games on PS5, but maybe you'll get exclusive skins. Maybe you'll get one of those stupid $45 mythic skins that Activision put out on a survey. Like it may not be the game itself, right? But it's gonna be the perks of being in the Xbox ecosystem. So Sony can complain about it, and they're right to complain about it because that's 100%. Their job. Shut up. Just stop.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, they're just gonna do it anyways. But like, I will look at this in the Game Pass way. They don't give the DLC for free unless it's a third party. It's kind of funny. Their first party games, you pay for the DLC, but in the long run, you think about it, you're already. I hate saying this because it's not true. You're getting the game for free. You're paying for a subscription service, but you're getting the game part of the subscription service. So 9 times out of 10, more people buy the DLC. The studies have shown. Xbox already see this for their first party games. They throw them out there. So if Diablo's on there, I agree with you, Pez. You're probably going to get all like the early access to the game stuff. You'll probably get that for free on Xbox, and you'd have to pay for the Ultimate Edition on PlayStation. But I still think I think this will be the first one, besides the Bethesda one, where there's certain games are still going to be on both consoles. Like, yes, the next Wolfenstein is only going to be on Xbox. All that makes sense. But I think with the big Call of Duties, I truly think they're going to always be on PlayStation. They'll always be on Xbox, but Xbox will have that advantage of saying, hey, you can go to PlayStation and spend $90 to buy this game, or you can just spend $170 for the year, and it's part of our library. You know what I mean? It's huge. And then you also got like the Tony Hawk games, but it's also very interesting to look on what games are showing up on PlayStation Plus. Like, this leads into what we've all been playing. We all were shocked that we're all playing the same game right now. We're all playing Tony Hawk because it came on PlayStation Plus.
What a bang.
And they gave us the PS5 version. It's almost like...
Yeah, I know, right? I was excited for.
Exactly. We were always saying this previously before they did this. We're like, why is Sony always giving us the PS4 version of a game that has a PlayStation 5 version? And now all of a sudden we've got the games that I have downloaded onto my PS5 right now is Death Stranding, which I still got to play that simulator.
You're not going to do...
Yeah, I probably won't like it.
You're going to put 1 hour into it and be like, I'm still in a cutscene? Dude,
Yeah.
it's such a Japanese... Dude, I can't
No, it's
wait.
not for me. All right, fine. I
But
also
try
downloaded...
it. Please try it. It'll be good content.
downloaded Final Fantasy Remake because you get the DLC and everything. Well, no, Final Fantasy 7 Remake is... Oof. That'll probably... I love the original, so I think I'm going to enjoy that. But plus
How do
get
you
all
love
DLC.
the original when it's all turn-based menu combat?
Yeah, but it's so good. It's because it doesn't look... I don't know. It looks different when you're playing. Like, it's okay. But when I was playing on NES, that's what I used to play Final... Turn-based on that is fine, but for some reason when I'm playing them on the next-gen consoles, it drives me nuts. I don't know what it is.
You know, you can make Final Fantasy turn-based if you want to double down.
No.
No? Okay, you're going to play it, action combat like a casual. That's fine.
Well, that's fine. I'm okay. I don't care what people think on how I play a game. I just want to play it to see how they redo the story. It's just I remember playing that with my brother growing up. I just want to play that. And then I've been playing Tony Hawk. But they gave us the new Crash game, like all those Activision Blizzard games that are showing up on Game Pass. Did they make a back end deal and say, hey, yes, you're going to lose these, but we're going to just give them to you for now, and you can put them into your service so then people don't cry? Because that's what it seems like.
Either that or these were done, pre-buy. Like these contracts were already done with Activision. Because I'm sure Activision and like Sony have like 3 years of contracts, right, for PS Plus games. So it's very possible that they will, that this was already in the hopper, and then Xbox is like, yeah, we have to let this go. That's my guess. Plus, they're good games, but they're not like major like AAA titles. You know what I mean? Like, there's no like.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen when these titles you're talking about right now, when they hit Game Pass, I play on both consoles. You play on both consoles. Waba will be playing on both consoles because Diablo is one of his favorite games. Skyrim is one of it. All the games he really likes. When the new ones come out, he's just gonna get an. It's just it is what it is. We
Diablo
all know
we've
what's
played
happening.
on PC because
It
I
But you'll
can't.
play it through Game
inevitable.
Pass on PC.
I
You
still
see what I'm saying?
a little
Like, why
bit
would you go out and buy it? It would cost the same. Like, Jesus, Waba.
because I need to support small indie company Blizzard because
Oh, no,
Okay,
they're-
can I also ask, are you playing Overwatch on PC or are you going to play it on your
No.
PlayStation?
I'm gonna play it on PlayStation.
I hate
It's
it.
Why would I play it on PC? I'm gonna get matched against Korean people whose APM are gonna send me to the Shadow Realm.
It's crossplay. You are anyway.
Oh, yeah, but at least I have an excuse. No, they're not gonna be like, oh man, this guy's playing on console and he's using not using a mouse and keyboard. What a scrub.
I play with controller on
Dude, that community is so toxic, and I love them for it. I'm trying to protect myself, man. I'm
No,
emotionally
but when
fragile.
those games like the Tony Hawk catalog and Crash Bandicoot and all that get to, just remember the Aaron Greenberg putting the picture of himself with Crash. How many people got mad when those games show up on the Xbox? They're gonna act like they're the biggest games in the world, and the console war people are going to lose their minds for a good 2 weeks of just saying this one sucks, this side sucks. I still never understand it, but that's what's gonna happen when Crash, Tony Hawk, Spyro, all that hits Game Pass, because they will, then everybody's going to lose their mind. But you are going to get, for myself, and I know Pez, we're going to get to go back and play the OG Tony Hawks. We don't have to play the Redux.
Yeah.
We can go back and play those. There's certain games that we're going to get that are kind of cool that we're going to get them. I don't know.
I don't know if
Imagine
I'd
they get
want
the
to play the
Spider-Man. We know
original.
they won't, but imagine they got Spider-Man.
I don't know that I'd want to play Spider-Man. Oh yeah, on
Activision
PS2?
made Spider-Man.
Yeah, you want? I was gonna say you want to buy it.
No.
Just so number two. But
If I bought anything from you, it would be just like that cereal that sits behind you.
if
that I
you
still
if you
haven't
bought
seen.
anything from me, you'd have to take out a mortgage for the markup I have.
Well, no, I'm talking about how you don't send me things. If you really want to get into this,
I have
you
box.
have a cereal box. You have a special gift that he bought. Remember, Pez? This special thing that I don't know about,
I'm gonna
and the pasta that is still. It's been over a year with the pasta. A year.
Oh yeah, it's right over there.
A
Oh, you
year.
can't see it.
Can't see it.
Yeah, that's fair. But the nice thing is, it's not in stores anymore, so the value's gone up. So, and honestly, you're probably welcome for that. So now you're not going to eat it. But speaking of Tony Hawk, we're all playing that right now, which is very rare that we're all three playing a game. So it's free on PlayStation, or it's included in PlayStation Plus right now. And I mean, we all played it back when it originally came out, right? Like being a skateboarder was
Yeah.
like the thing. Like I don't know if you guys, I remember getting a skateboard. I couldn't do anything on it. And eventually it broke because it was like a $20 skateboard. And I didn't break any bones. Did you guys try skateboarding too because of Tony Hawk?
I tried it before Tony Hawk because I'm old. The game Tony Hawk came out when I was in like high school. But skateboarding was a thing before that because like every 80s movie had like the kids with the fat skateboard. So I grew up with the fat skateboard. When the small one came out, I fell a lot. But the fat one, I shred with that thing.
As you must have been a skateboarder.
Dude, I
Dude,
was
he's
a fat
tall.
kid. There was no way. There was
But
no
so it
way
doesn't
I was
matter?
getting my little fat ass on a skateboard. It wasn't happening.
Yo, what about tech decks, dude? I remember I had, so it's cool. So I had the black background, like the bird, the Tony Hawk like vulture skull, like tech deck, and it's in the game, and like obviously like that's the one I picked. But tech
Waba is a
decks are
skater.
huge.
That's just hilarious.
I'm not a skater. I tried skating because I knew like two people who knew how to do it, and I thought Tony Hawk stuff was cool. Turns out it's like
Abba was a
not
skater
a good
boy.
idea.
He said, "See you later, boy."
Yeah, and because honestly I wasn't good enough for her. You know, it's just.
No, I was never like a
Shout out to the
skater.
Canadians who still listen to that song.
Ugh,
I
I'm
was
right
never
here.
a skater boy, so to speak, but I played Tony Hawk. I watched a lot of CKY. I don't know if you guys have
Yes,
watched the CKY
dude. Oh
movies.
my god. Do you
So I
listen
watched
to HIM too?
obviously. A lot of CKY, and then that obviously went into like Jackass and all that
Yep.
stuff. So yeah, dude, Tony Hawk. For me, it was like, oh, I'm not very good at this game anymore. I can barely combo. But man, Goldfinger Superman came on, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm back. I'm back, baby.
That
It's
song
like I can.
is the
It's
first
like I
song
can
you hear.
almost. It's like I can almost hear my parents arguing in the other room. But yeah, that's a joke.
Okay.
But no, man, Tony Hawk was good. It's a good slate. It is between that and Yakuza. It is a good slate of PS Plus games, and I recommend people go check them out because seriously, if you play Tony Hawk or if you haven't, uh, the redo is very good. It's very modern now. The soundtrack is incredible. It is like to me because I played I think 1 through 4. I think I played. I didn't play really any of the ones after. I didn't buy the stupid one with the board. Right? What was that? Tony Hawk 5. I think.
Ride or something. Yeah.
But like between that and Yakuza, it is just like it's like okay, I get what you want to give me now. I get it. Like this is one of those months that isn't. It's not gonna break the internet because sometimes Sony has these months where they're just like we're gonna give you The Last of Us 2 and we're gonna give you Crash 1 through 3 and we're gonna give you whatever and everyone's like oh my god the people like all the guy the Three Dads Twitter is blowing up with people because all the Sony fanboys are like Sony won blah 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 and I'm like oh my god I hate you people so much and all the hats are hitting the ceiling and everyone's having a great time. And then there are some months where you're like, I don't want to play Wreckfest or I don't want to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I don't care if I get these for free. But this is one of those that's in the middle that is sneaky good because both games are very, very solid entries.
What I like about Tony Hawk the most, so I'm not good at it anymore. First thing you get to figure out is I don't like most of the music. So I go in there and you can actually make your own playlist. So mine consists of like the ska ones, the Tribe Called Quest song, and then MGK.
That just brings me back to how good the soundtrack is.
So
and
good.
I was actually listening to Bowling for Soup this morning at the gym.
Oh my gosh.
Such a good song. And I was listening to all, and so then I started listening to like Goldfinger and stuff like that. And that literally got me to down. I was sitting at the gym and I was like, pulled out the PlayStation app. I'm like, download. I'm playing Tony Hawk today. This is happening.
They're so. But also when I first jumped in, so I've only played the first level because like I've just been messing around with it for an hour. So you can make your own skater, which is really cool, and that's how like that's kind of like you get money by doing tricks and objectives, and you can upgrade your skater, and that's kind of it keeps you involved because you can't just have a game just to play anymore. You have to have a progression system. But they have new skaters, which are from the new generation, who I'm not familiar with, but the original skaters are all older looking. And I think that's so cool. It's not just Tony Hawk as like, again, like, polygon sprite back in the day, but like it looks like him now. And they've got oh god, I forget most of their names, but like it's all like it's them now. It's really, really cool. It's a nice little touch.
Now question to you guys. Do you associate Tony Hawk with PlayStation, regardless of what console it comes out on?
No.
Nintendo.
Really, eh? Nintendo, eh? Because the N64 version wasn't good.
I played on N64 and I also had it on
that's
GBA.
why I'm explaining to you it was bad.
I don't associate him with any console, honestly.
Well, so just the games, like Tony Hawk 1 and 2 to me is just the gray PlayStation. Like that's where I played it.
That's so wild.
Yeah, I played it on that too. I didn't have a 64 or GameCube. I had a 64 later in life, but not when it first came out.
I just had the PlayStation with the hack. It was hacked for sure.
I had the
you could put burn discs in it.
gray one, not the re-released actual one that was called
the one right
PS1.
behind me. It's behind me.
Yeah, the PS1 one.
Yeah, that one there. It's got the laser on it where I could put burn discs in it and it'll work. Like I remember I would go on LimeWire and like all those and just download PS1 games and then burn them onto a CD-ROM and just be like, all right, I got the brand new Metal Gear. Let's go.
You want to know what other
system that's where we did everything back in then. We were growing up in high school. That was if you bought something without getting it off LimeWire, I don't know. It was so weird. Except Metallica. I thought I had a message from Metallica. I was one of those people that got the message. Oh yeah. Nothing ever happened from it, but I was one of the people of the cease and desist and delete this and make.
He settled out of court. It's fine, folks.
Because Napster, I had Metallica. Allegedly. I was one of those people. They just made you delete it.
I didn't listen to that garbage, so I didn't get the note.
What?
I know.
Do you know what other system allowed you?
Hold on, Pez. Can we back up to him calling Metallica garbage?
They're good. They're a good band. That was hyperbole, but I wasn't I wasn't gonna do time for Metallica.
We've talked about this before. They're on my list of bands I need to see before they die.
Dude, you do. And you know what they
I know I
do?
do.
They play the same show and it's so good.
Yeah, they
Why
just
Like
do
you'll
that
get
when
to
you
hear
could
the
just
classics. Though you go there and you don't walk away from a Metallica concert going, "Oh man, I didn't get to hear Ride the Lightning," or they didn't play one. You're like, "Oh my god, they played everything I wanted to hear."
you
and
know
you wear a
some
Napster shirt when you go see them?
you know
You think
some
that's
uh some guy was very upset they didn't play like Saint Anger, the one album that everyone hates. Fun story about Saint Anger. It came out on my birthday one year, and I bought it, and I listened to the whole thing. And I threw it out the window. So I was so distraught. Same day, 'cause it was like 45 minutes. I drove around my hometown because that's what you did back in the day. 2001, you went on a drive, had a good time, listened to it.
That's what you
Was
did.
like,
You went on drives.
I was like, you know what? Nah, took it and yeeted it out the window. There it
some
was.
say it's still
Yeeted it?
traveling through the air to this day.
Yep.
Oh well,
Yep.
if hey Metallica, if you're listening, do better. Um,
Do better.
but yeah, Tony Hawk, very fun. Go play it. If you never got to play the original, this is very good. I haven't even ventured into like the rest of it. I'm just having fun in the first level,
Yeah, the
collecting
little
hydrants
warehouse
or
level.
whatever. It's so good.
It's so good.
I'm so bad. I used to do everything crazy combos, and it's like
Same. Can't
I
do it all.
fall all the time. I feel
Yeah.
like this is what, like, this is how Tony Hawk must feel. Old, getting older, bones creaking a little bit, getting some of the
I-
Nah,
arthritis.
this dude still rips. Are you kidding me?
I can't do like this, but I watch people do it and they're like getting the combos. I'm like, how did I used to do this? How did I get all these check marks? I can't do
Yeah.
them anymore.
Did-
I'm
Dude,
trying
I
to do
was-
my runs, like when when you do in the warehouse and you go down and you
Mhm.
go over and you do the run. You go all the way around, just keep going around and around and around and around, and you're doing the same thing. I'm like, I can't. I do one thing I did do today though. I wasn't using the analog sticks. I was like, nope. I am going
D-pad.
back to the D-pad
You have to.
100%. And I noticed as soon as I switched, because I was trying analog sticks, when I switched back to the D-pad, I was doing so much better.
Yeah, feels like home.
It does. It feels comfortable. It feels like, hey, we're there. I hate, believe it or not, while playing Tony Hawk,
Oh,
I didn't like the
yeah.
triggers because they just didn't feel right. So I'm just like, I almost wanted to get my hands off, and I'm like, I don't need you. So why do I need to touch you? I don't
Yeah.
need you. You're useless.
Um,
But speaking of levels,
yes.
I wanted to talk about games, but like not just games. I wanted to talk about like STEM games. Now, do you understand that the STEM toys?
Yes, but can you explain a little bit in case folks may not
Well,
be familiar?
they're more educational. They
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Lego a STEM toy. It's like it's almost there. But this friends over at Ravensburger sent me a Gravitrax Pro. Now, my daughter is huge into Lego. My daughter is almost 6 years old. On the box here, it says ages 8 and up. She has been doing advanced Lego. She does 8+ Lego, like without even trying. So when we first got this, it's you're putting together, you're making tracks, but you're making tracks to try and get like one of the tracks that we just made was the marble. See which marble gets there first, and it's all based on Newton's law, gravity, where it goes. But you make ramps, but you can also do your own things. So we've done 2 tracks. Now my daughter wants to tomorrow. She wants to make her own. So she wants to see how big she can make this and have it so that these metal balls get to the certain area. I find it to be a very good toy for a couple of reasons. One, my daughter plays with it for a longer period than 5 minutes.
Yep.
It's not like she's watching a YouTube video and she's sitting here. She has to almost sit and pay attention to what she's doing and think about the next thing she's going to be doing, because if she's making ramps, she wants it to go here to here and here. And oddly enough, from this, she's led to wanting to learn how to play chess. And they do think the same way, right? You're thinking ahead. Like when you're making these tracks, you have to look at the map. So they give you these maps and it's like these hexagons, and you've got to put these levels up, and then they've got ramps and they've got little grooves that are going through it. And you've got to follow where the hexagons go. And it's not just like Lego where it shows you piece by piece. It'll just show you the map and say, these got to go there. So she's actually got to count and like pick to where it goes and make sure it's level and so on and so forth, and try and figure out why it's not working. So it makes her think a lot more, and she doesn't realize how much she's learning while playing it. And so then we were up at the cottage last week, and there was a chessboard there. So I pulled it out and I was showing her chess. And she even said to me, she goes, "Oh, you have to think ahead." I was like, "Yeah, just like the Gravitrax that we were playing with. You got to think ahead, know where to put things." So it's having her think with a different side of her brain, which didn't know that she had this much thought process to do this stuff already. Like, cause she hasn't even turned 6 yet, and she's already at the point where this is a cool toy to her. And all her friends came over on this Thursday to do this jumping castle thing, and every single one of them came in the house like, "Oh, I want to play with that. I want to play with that." I was like, "You can play with it, but it's not one of those toys that you could just play with. Like, you guys are gonna have to sit there and build something, and then you get to play with it." But I like the fact that it's making her think. It's not like her dolls and so on and so forth that she's just playing with her stuffies, but she's using imagination with those, like the conversations. But this is using another side of her brain, and that's something I can get behind.
Well, it tricks kids into learning in a way, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yep.
You know, they have like similar stuff for all ages. Like and I think it's great, and the kids have fun with it. Like my daughter, my mom got her it's like a racetrack that goes around, but at like different stages you have to like hit a button or like
nice.
turn a lever or something, and it like helps the car like, you know, either like get on this platform and turn this way, and you have to release it so it can go on the next one, and it goes up and you hit a button and it pops onto this magnetic helicopter. It's really cool. I mean, I like it, but maybe I'm still learning. But she goes and she doesn't. She learns like cause and effect and what order things go in. And you know, it took her what, like 3 times of me showing her how to do it, and then she like picked it up. And it just kind of surprises you, like what kids can learn, because I mean, they're little malleable balls. And when you start to see it like click in their head, it's like really cool because we don't get to see them learn at school. So these are also cool toys, not just for them to learn, but like for parents to be like, my kid knows, like my kid's bright. And I really liked basically watching her learn how to do something like that.
Yeah, like in this, they give you this very easy one to build, and that we did together. And then the second one, she was like, "No, I want to do it on my own." There was a lot of errors. She screwed up a lot to build it, but she finally got it, and the sense of accomplishment that she got from doing so. And there's all these like little sets that you can hook onto it. And then from when we went to Toys R Us, who sell it, she's seeing that, and also in the aisle she saw like a ant farm, and she saw this bug collector, and then all of a sudden she was like, instead of always being in the Lego aisle, she was like, "Oh, Daddy, I should try all these things." And I was like, that's awesome that she wanted to try something different, some of the science toys. So I was very happy that this was a something that got her going and got her mind working. Like Pez, when your kids are a lot older than me and Waba, what were type of toys that are along those lines that were out for you?
Trying to think. My oldest, I don't remember. So long ago. She's
Mhm.
18. So we're talking like 15, anywhere between 15 and 10 years ago. Don't remember.
It's like I just gave her a rock.
Yeah, rocks. So go outside. My youngest was a lot of do you know those like triangle connect blocks?
Yeah, the
Are
magnet
they
ones.
magnetics?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
magnetic ones.
Yeah,
We
those
did
are
Those
a-
so
are
cool.
cool.
We did a lot of those. She did a lot of building. We're not a big Lego family. Just because I find Lego to be super expensive.
The big time now went up 20%.
Yeah,
Crazy.
crazy expensive. So we did like a lot of those. We did what were they called? I want to say they were called Connects, but I don't think they were. Can't remember.
Next was big one.
And then we did a lot of like when she was getting into like first grade, we did a lot of like programming type games where you could like kind of
that's
program
cool.
your own thing that was like, look at this light bounce across, like, and I'd be like, dude, you did that. Just to get her, because my father-in-law is he's a programmer. He's like a vice president of a software company somewhere.
My friend's wicked smart.
He's wicked smart. My boy's wicked smart. And he was always like, get her into coding. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I definitely don't want her to do what I do because I don't make the money to do what I do. So we started her down that route. And she is still doing it. Like for camp this year, she went to a coding, robotics, and STEM camp. Like, so incredibly important, I think, especially when they're young. And it's hard to balance. Like you want things to be educational, but you want things to be fun because educational can be boring to kids, right? So it has to be engaging for them. And if the what you and your daughter did, it seems completely engaging, because not only is she using her brain to figure out the process, but she's directly involved in the actual process. It's not just like, oh, I take blue brick and I put blue brick here and look what I did a castle, right? It's
Dude,
like, oh, this isn't telling me really what to do. I have to look at a map, which, let me tell you, like map skills are something that people don't have anymore. So even just being able to like look at a map and saying like, oh, I need to put like these pieces here and put these pieces on top, and if it's not aligned, it doesn't work, then that's amazing, because that
mhm.
stuff is not taught anymore, right? Like,
Yeah.
people don't read maps anymore. When's the last time you ever read a map, right? We don't read maps. We just look at our phone and we go on our GPS and we go about our way. Like, that's how, like, when we were driving, like, that's how we learned, right? We looked at maps. And now, so my roundabout way of saying this is, it's not telling her how to do it. It's just saying like, this is what it needs to look like. Now you need to make it look like this to work. And she's working that out in her head.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We had that. We played with it for a bit. We went away. Then she saw a chessboard and we started playing a little bit. And then she put two and two together. And then we get back and she learned how to ride a bike. Like in this like week, I got training wheels off. She started wanting to play chess, like all the time. And her brain was like working. It was like I got a different side of her brain, and she wasn't on her iPad. She wasn't even wanting to play Switch. Like she just went into a different direction. It was kind of awesome.
A lot of milestones at once.
I
Yeah,
know,
it
just
was
knocking them
crazy.
off.
Dude, craziness.
Doing her taxes next year on her own.
No,
Coming up next.
you're pushing it.
But that's awesome, dude. That's really cool to hear. And I don't know. I definitely, other dads, again, I know I have a daughter on the younger side, but like, look out for stuff like that. Like, I love toys and games and fun, stuff, like, giving her that stuff, but things that keep them engaged, I think that's even better.
100%.
Are there any other gaming topics that you folks had on hand or on your mind that you want to talk about?
Well, but let me ask you,
Uh-oh.
and I already know the answer, so I'm loading this question up. Did you watch the new Pokemon Direct today?
Yes. I watched a
Did
little bit
you?
of it. I did. I watched a little bit of it, and
Wait.
I know that you and I are both fans of the Pokemans.
Yep. What do you think?
So the legendaries are motorcycles, right?
Yes. I don't understand. It's
Is
weird.
that weird? Yeah.
Yes, it's
Okay.
weird.
Because I was like, I don't love that. So does that mean you can't travel fast until
So-
the end, or do you get them in the beginning? I don't know.
So that's the question, right? Are you getting legendaries in the beginning? Are you getting the game legendaries in the beginning? Or is it like, here's your stupid bike, you'll still get the legendaries like in the 7th or 8th gym, and then, whatever, and then you use these guys in endgame, right? Who knows?
It's kind of weird. I don't know, because
Very
I mean,
weird.
the last ones I played very seriously was Ruby and like Kyogre or whatever. That's the one I had, was like dope.
Yeah.
But the other thing I thought was interesting is that gyms can be done in any order. So that is kind of like, I don't know how to feel about that, because I'm so used to like a linear progression, and the game does a good job of like skilling you up. And the fact that they're like, you can do whatever, like, are we gonna start seeing like people like was it that Elden Ring, like, let me solo her? Are we gonna see that, but like a Pidgey?
Maybe.
And like the Pidgey is just so buff, it's gonna take down, like, I'm assuming there's an Elite Four, or it's just gonna like body all the like. It gives way for like creative ways to beat the game,
Yeah.
or to go about it, and I think that's the direction Pokemon has to go, because I don't want to say the formula is stale, but it's predictable.
It's stale. I'll say it's stale because I played what did I last play? I didn't play Sword and Shield. I played Legends Arceus, which is completely different from every other game because it was more of an open world one. The story was terrible. I hope there is a good Pokemon story, but there probably isn't. Spoiler alert. I forget which one I played. Maybe it was like Pokemon the Go versions on the Switch where it was like, oh, this is kind of stupid. I think it was one of those. It was like Pokemon, the Pikachu and Eevee.
Oh
Those
yeah,
two.
yeah.
The Let's Go. There it is. Let's
Let's
Go.
go. Yeah.
So my hope is that they stick. It looks like they're going to stick with the Legends Arceus open world type stuff, which it would be smart for them because going back to the very linear and segmented gyms and stuff like that, I think isn't going to be great. So to see it kind of take the next step, I think is a great idea. The multiplayer, I think, is pretty neat. So for those that don't know, from what it looked like, you like Waba, Court, and I could go and play the whole game together and battle together in the gyms, and you can still trade like you could before, but now it seems there is an emphasis on you and 3 other people, because I think it's probably max 4. You and 3 other people getting together and playing this game and experiencing it together. Which I think is also pretty neat. And it is for, especially for Pokemon, which has always been so stringent in how you play this game, that for them to make that change, I think is good foresight, but also like, where have you been the past 10 years? Because, Sword and Shield was stupid, and what was it, Shining Diamond and Bright Pearl or whatever. Like, I heard those ones weren't that good. Like Pokemon, despite being like the #1 IP in the world, the games themselves, like, people bought them, but they're not that good. And hopefully, Violet and Scarlet are kind of puts Pokemon back to where it used to be. I think Legends Arceus kind of got them there because they went a whole different route. And they were just like, we're gonna try something different, and if it works, it works. And Game Freak came out and killed it. So hopefully the Pokemon company listened, and then they added their flavor and polish, because it needed graphical polish 100%, but they add their kind of like flavor and polish to everything. And I like that it's Gen 9. Kind of getting away from all the usuals. Like, give us some new stuff. Except except the water duck, because you could tell he's definitely a cop.
Dude, he's a lad. But like Nick Johnson says in chat at youtube.com/3dads in a console, Pokemon, and I know he's on his phone because there's a accent mark over the E. Pokemon is finally listening to their players and giving them the options to capitalize on the open world concept. So it's interesting. I mean, I feel like a lot of times these franchises, they just want to do things the way they do things, and they just want to do it until it works, and it takes a lot to kind of change. Change isn't easy, especially when you have a formula that's making you billions. But
yeah, I mean, look at Mario Brothers, right? Look at Mario Brothers. Before Mario Odyssey, the last like biggest Mario 3D game was Galaxy. And I'm not going to even say Galaxy 2, because that just was kind of built on Galaxy. Mario Galaxy was the last big 3D Mario game. After that, the Mario games you got were all 2D games. New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers 2, New Super Mario Brothers U, like New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Like, you got all these Mario games, and people were just like, dude, Mario games are boring. It's the same thing over and over. Stop giving us the same 2D Mario games. We don't care. And people bought them, and they did not review well. And then all of a sudden Mario Odyssey comes out. It's a complete change of pace, and people are back on the Mario train, right? And my hope is that Scarlet and Violet.
Whoa.
What?
So
What?
the slander was being done on the whole Pokemon, and we didn't even talk about the one that looked like Princess Leia. It was like that little thingy with like the little cinnamon buns on the
Little
ear.
buns?
But like, Mario's good. Like, I love 3D Mario World.
No. I'm not saying the 3D ones were bad. I'm saying people are getting sick of the 2D ones because they were like the same one. It was like the same formula.
No, that's fair.
You walk to the right, sometimes left if you're feeling, the devs are feeling really juicy, and you just jump on things. It's like,
but then,
cool.
So my hope is that Scarlet and Violet are kind of the Mario Odyssey now of Pokemon, right? It kind of takes them in a different direction.
Another complaint. I have no idea the difference between the colors Scarlet and Violet. Literally couldn't tell you. Literally couldn't tell you.
Are you colorblind?
No.
Okay.
I just also maybe I just don't know colors well enough. I'm also
Scarlet
so
is a
can,
deeper red, and violet is like a deeper purple.
I'll have to look at a swatch. I know this
Swatch
is
you,
kind of like
buddy.
it's more of a marketing rant. Like, remember when Pokemon used to not have like the fact that they're telling you about the legendaries and they've done it for a while, I think is silly. And they've done this since I played on like Game Boy Advance. Remember when you first got it, like red and blue, and it was like Charizard and Blastoise, and those weren't even like the big deals.
Yeah,
Like,
those are your
yeah, it's like
starters.
yeah, but like you had so much more to explore. The fact that I feel like they're like, "Hey, showcase, let's show you this new thing." It's like, why not just make it a surprise? Like, why do you have to show the big boys and then you find Mewtwo? Like, how? And this was before internet, so it's a little like, but like, Mewtwo was like crazy because it's like a brand new thing you hadn't heard about it. Like, I wish that they hid more, and I have an issue with this doing this in all sorts of media. But for Pokemon, it's like, oh, hey, let's show you our cool stuff up front. Don't do
Yeah.
that. Let us explore, especially now that you're giving people the chance to explore.
Yeah.
But
Media has especially trailers, right? Does a very poor job of giving you everything. Like they say now, you can watch a movie trailer and be like, "Oh, I know what happens in this movie."
that's how I feel about that stuff. But separate rant
So
for
I
another
agree.
day. Um, folks, I think we're at time now, right?
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Look at
Here
us.
we
Yeah,
go.
man.
You got to talk about your dweeb stuff, and I sat here and listened.
You're just jealous that you're not a man of
Honestly, my
culture like
daughter.
Des and I are.
Actually, I'll add this. My daughter saved up her allowance to buy an EV stuffy
Good choice.
What is her
because she's a
favorite evolution?
the EV she has got a little bow tie. It's like a yellow one. I don't know. She doesn't understand about training them and making them bigger. She just likes going around and catching them over and over again. Like she likes Let's Go
What if it's
EV.
a
That's her favorite
Sylveon?
Pokemon game. Like she didn't like Arceus at all.
What
Eevee
if
bow tie.
That's probably a Sylveon. I hate that I know that.
I think it might just be an Eevee
It
with a
is.
bow tie. Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Wow, big nerd.
What does that mean? See?
It means it's
What? Oh, so Eevee. So okay, I'm
well,
gonna
actually,
well, actually, Core. So you can train an Eevee to evolve into like 6 different
yeah.
types. There's like a type of Eevee per, there's like an electric one, a water one, a dark one, all that, a fairy one, all that stuff.
She'd want to have the fairy one.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm not ashamed I know that because that was the one I rolled with when I played Legends Arceus, baby. We rolled
See?
with the Sylveon. Gang gang.
So, God, people on the audio only are missing out. But folks, thank you so much for joining us today. Again, if you want to hang out with us and see the show live and ask questions just like Nick Johnson did, Quicksand GM was here earlier. Make sure to join us, youtube.com/3dads in a console. And make sure to check out some of our other videos. We have a bunch of reviews that are going up. So if you want to hear about not just game reviews, is this game good or not? No, we talk about it from like also a parent perspective. Like, is this good to play with your kids? Can you have them in the room? Are they going to enjoy this? Definitely check it out as well. Make sure to rate us on your podcast platform of choice, Spotify, iTunes, wherever we are. Send us some good reviews. And yeah, thank you so much for your folks' time and attention. It's been good talking, and we'll see you in the next episode.